Alright, how's it going, guys? My name is BitDealer, and in this video I'm just going to go over Bitcoin and give you my thoughts. I'm going to try to keep this one pretty quick. So looking here on the monthly time frame, not much has changed since last video. I still have this, well, first I had the monthly open. We're below the monthly open. I have the lowest close of this consolidation right here marked out as resistance because we're currently under it. And then I have this marked out as support. You can see it was the floor here before this breakdown. Once price closed back above it, we used it as support here and here. And then I have this demand zone. So basically we have wicked into the demand zone on a monthly time frame. We're currently above the support. So, we'll see in about 7 days or so how this closes. If it closes above this level here, then I'm pretty bullish on a monthly time frame because we basically filled in this gap. As you can see, price went up here. We never came back down to fill in this gap. So we did here into that demand zone, took out these lows. And if we close above that, it's basically a SFP. So it swept the lows and closed above it. So usually that's a reversal pattern. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how we close on the monthly time frame. Weekly here, I have a couple new levels marked out. I have the weekly open, which we are currently above the weekly open. I have this support level. You can see that this was the consolidation before this up move that broke that key level. So this is a demand zone, but since we wicked all the way down to this bottom one down here, I'm just using the top of it as a SR level. So you can see price close right above it here and then moved higher. So you can see price pushed up into the previous consolidation range here, right into it and got rejected. So that's acting as resistance right now. Price kind of taps it here as well. I think just a few dollars under it, but we're basically right at that level again. And then we have the key monthly level here at 7163. So, I think that these will hold. Like, I think that we could see a push maybe up into this top one here, and then a reversal back down here before maybe staying in this range, or I'm not sure, but basically on the weekly time frame here, you can see that we're in this range. So we have this key level and this key weekly level. So from 5,300 to 6,900 is our range on the weekly time frame. You see we weren't able to close above it here after getting rejected. And if we continue to close inside of it, like on this week, then, we could just continue to keep ranging. So watching a weekly close above or below 6,900. If we did close above it, then, we could, if we were to close above this range, I think that we could possibly move up here, but we'll have to see after we get a close to confirm the break. Because I don't want to make any assumptions and try to make all these predictions without actually having confirmation that it broke. So basically just watching this range here on the weekly time frame. One sign of bullishness though, if we were to close the weekly above this level here, usually you want to use the time frame, like considering this is a weekly range with these two weekly levels, we want to wait for a weekly close for real confirmation. But if you get something like this is a monthly level, and if the weekly closes above that, the weekly is still a high time frame, so it might not be complete confirmation, but it is starting to hint at bullishness, right? Because it is giving you that weekly close above a key level. So I wouldn't consider that full confirmation, but I would consider that, kind of looking for more bullish signs after that because it's hinting at it. So we can go ahead and go to the daily now. Let's see. So you can see how this level was pretty key here. We used it as support. Price comes, closes under it, and then shoots back up. So like a fake out under it. And then here was support again. So like a head and shoulders or a under over pattern, because you have support, price goes under it and back over it, uses as support, and then bounces off. Then on this huge jump, we obviously broke all these key levels. Currently we are 85% from the low. So I mean, that's still pretty far up. Like it's a pretty quick rebound for people who bought down here. So you can see we have the low, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then this candle here was a higher high for me because we closed above these highs, these closes up here, right? So this is a higher high for me above that monthly level. So that's kind of bullish for me, in my opinion. And if you actually look at this, so this was a higher high because we closed above these highest closes, right? And then it also closed above the key monthly level. And then if you look as well, it took out the low and closed above the high. So that's a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. So let me see if I can find any of the last one. So here was the last one, right? We took out the low. Oh no, here we had a couple up here. Basically, price takes out the low of the previous candle, takes out the high and closes above the high. That's a bullish engulfing candle for me, my definition. There's one. See it happen here as well. We took out the low, closed above the high, we went higher. Here as well, took out the low, closed above the high, we went higher. So here's one as well. Took out the low, closed above it. We had to kind of consolidate. I wouldn't necessarily say we went lower here because really we didn't take out the low of this candle or anything. It's just within this candle's range. So then we went higher. So I would kind of consider that still a bullish like play out after that. So just something to be aware of with this daily candle. It's pretty bullish in my opinion with all those things I just considered: a higher high, broken resistance level, and a bullish engulfing candle. And then we have this bullish market structure here, right? So to me, I think that we could push up for these highs, maybe take out this high into this other resistance level, and then maybe get a reversal back down here to maybe take out like this low or something. But I do think it's kind of looking pretty bullish right now, at least short term, because we got that close here. Use this as support here, and like we've been trading within this little range all day. So like for me, since we closed above it here, I should be looking for more upside into these resistance levels. Once we hit the resistance levels, which we kind of did here, but I think we may take that out this high, then I'd be waiting for a close below this level. If we get that close below here, then I think this would just be a fake out and we continue to the downside. But since we've closed above it, today is held above it, with all the other factors, I think we could see a short-term push higher within the next 1 to 2 days to take out that high into the next resistance level. So let's see if lower time frame kind of confirms that. So, a pretty bullish structure, I would say. I've kind of got caught on the short side the past few days. So I'm trying to adjust my bias here with, pretty much see if it's worth flipping bullish here because, I've been getting caught or been getting stopped out on all my shorts. So if you look here, kind of like a bear or a bullish channel, right? So we have the highs, or basically we have, since we set the low, right? A low, a high, a higher low, consolidation, a higher high, a higher low. And this is set a higher high right now because if you look, we closed above that. So to me, that's kind of a higher high. So bullish market structure here for sure. I'm gonna delete that. And you can see like how price has been interacting with these levels, and we've closed above it. So this is pretty interesting how many, up candles in a row. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H4 up candles in a row. That's obviously showing strength by the bulls. So, I kind of already said my plan here, but I'm basically waiting for a move higher to take out this high. So you can see I have it marked out as a range. I have this is the high and this is the low, and then there's a mid-range. You can see we did not sweep the low or the high. We are near the highs though. So if we could another bullish factor is that we've started closing above Monday's high. If we get a daily close above Monday's high, that'd be pretty bullish. But you know, you can see I have these X's marked out where I think liquidity and stop losses will be, so kind of trailing their stops up on this up move here is usually results in a quick reaction to the downside. Like, so say we're in this range, right? We get a pump and no pullback really on this whole thing, just kind of like small little pullbacks, but no real proper pullback. People keep trailing their stops up and up if they're long. So usually if price drives higher, take out these stops or any take profits here, any liquidity basically, fill this liquidity, come back down, and then once it gets back down here to where all these stop losses would be from people trailing up, if they haven't closed, right, it usually will result in a quick move down to at least take out this bottom low. So I would definitely be looking to get short if we did take out the high as a SFP or a swing failure pattern. That would be a good short setup for me, in my opinion, with probably a small risk percentage because of the kind of uptrend we're going here. But these are usually like reversal patterns. So, you know, you usually see them at the end of trends because people, like I said, keep trailing their stop losses up and up. You finally take out the highest high, which would be here, and all that liquidity is built up, and then price just rips through it. So that's kind of the short setup I'm looking for. I'm going to turn on the VWAP. So this is the weekly VWAP. If we were to come down here before we got up to the highs, then I'd be looking to buy a dip. Basically, if we were to come back down here, take out like this low or something into this key monthly level and the weekly VWAP, that would be a good buying opportunity in my opinion, and then I'd be targeting up here at the highs. Be looking to take profit there and then possibly flip short. But if we don't get that dip down here, then I'm looking for a short here. So I think that pretty much sums up my plan, guys. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks.